lecture on heat transfer, as the heat transfer is one of the most vital used topic in the industries. As when we are going to synthesize anything, when we are going to produce anything, it's very general thinking. It's very obvious that we have to supply some energy. Nothing can be produced without supplying energy. In general, in household even, we saw that when we are going to produce something and when we are going to make something, we are going to do something, we need some energy, any form of energy. That's similarly in the industries, we also need the energy to be supplied for various processes. And in general, the energy is supplied in terms of heat. As the wherever we are trying to produce or wherever we are trying to maintain the temperature of reactant for a particular reaction, in that case also we need energy, and this energy is supplied in form of heat. When we are going to maintain the temperature of the reactors, in that case also we need energy to be supplied, and that temperature of the reactors are maintained at the expense of the heat. And whenever the product is produced at the higher temperature and we have to cool it down and we have to make it come to the ambient temperature, in that case also we have to need the removal of the energy, heat energy. And here my point is that in each and every process we need some type of energy transfer, and we need some type of heat transfer. So this is a very vital and very important and very useful topic for each and every industry. Being a part of subject of industrial chemistry, we also taught heat transfer to them, as this is one of the most vital subject covered in the industries. So today my topic of content and topic of lecture covers the topic of these contents. First is the introduction about the heat, what is heat, and how we classify a type of energy in terms of heat. Whenever a type of energy is called heat, we have a different type of energy, and which energy we are going to label as the heat. In introduction we discuss about the heat, and after that the heat transfer. What is the heat transfer? We have different topics and different subjects related to the heat, and this changing the energy from one point to another point and from one body to another body. We have different topics such as thermodynamics. Thermodynamics also deal with the energy transfer, but what is the difference between the thermodynamics and what is the heat transfer? What is the main theme of the heat transfer? It is discussed in the introduction. After that we come to the basic mode of the heat transfer, and first which is heat conduction. Conduction is the most prevailing mode of heat transfer, and it generally occurs, and we saw it day-to-day life also, and it is heavily used in industries also. That's why we first discuss about the conduction, in which we discuss about the basic mode of the conduction, what is the mechanism of the conduction, how the conduction takes place, and after that we look for the law which governs the conduction. Whenever there is any concept, and there is any formula, and there is any theory of the science and the technology, it is useful only after the application. The phenomena of heat transfer is occurring everywhere, but we should know how to control it. Each and every phenomena is useful for mankind only when we have useful laws to control it. We have useful methods to control it, to govern it, and we have an understanding of the laws which govern the phenomena to control the law. If we are trying to use that particular phenomena, we should know about the method, and we should know about the law which governs this particular phenomenon. That's why in conduction we discuss about the Fourier's law. And when the Fourier's law and conduction comes into play, then there is a main and vital part is of the thermal conductivity. We also discuss about the thermal conductivity. After that we discuss about the application of this Fourier law on the single slab as well as on the composite wall. And composite wall, how we do? Because sometimes the heat transfer takes place just by a barrier of a single wall, and in some cases in general in the industries the heat transfer takes place through various walls. a composite wall which have a material which have different materials and different properties of the material and different thickness. This the combination of these different materials wall is called the composite wall. We discuss about the application of Fourier law and composite wall. And as we saw in the industries, we also use different circular types, tubes and pipes through which the reactants flow, through which the product flow, through which our different fluids flow, and also there is heat transfer taking place in these particular flowing fluids. That's why we also discuss about, or we also look for the application of Fourier's law in circular tube. So how to apply the Fourier's law in circular tube. After that, we discuss about the convection. In convection, we discuss about the mechanism of convection, what is the importance of convection, where it comes play, where it is vital and visible in the heat transfer case convection, and what is the mechanism, how it occurs in different fluids, and that type of convection, how many times we have about the convection, and the Newton's law of cooling. And after that, we discuss about the example taking care of the Newton's law of cooling. This is the whole content of my lecture. Now, moving towards the heat transfer. What is the heat? Very first question is, what is the heat? Heat is a type of energy which is measured, or which is can be seen in terms of temperature. This type of energy which is measured and seen in terms of energy, in terms of temperature. The temperature indicates the absence of heat and the presence of heat. If the temperature is high, there is heat energy available, heat energy is available. And if temperature is low, then the heat energy is not available. It's very common and general thing. If we pick up a cup, or if we pick up a glass and it is hot, then we say that, oh, it is very hot. It is at a very high temperature. The temperature indicates the presence of heat. Heat is the energy which is measured in terms of temperature, and which is measured in terms of temperature. Now, understanding the heat, we come to the discussion of the heat transfer. What is heat transfer? Heat transfer is the measure of rate of energy transfer in terms of temperature. This is a very, very important thing, that it is the rate of energy transfer. Heat transfer is the rate of energy transfer. In heat transfer, we are concerned about the rate of heat transfer. What is the rate? How fast is the heat is transferring, or energy is transferring, and how slow is the energy is transferring, or energy is not going to flow. This is the main reason of the main discussion and main topic of the heat transfer. This is the main topic of discussion in the heat transfer. Heat transfer, we always look for the rate of transfer, whether we are trying to enhance it or we are trying to slow it down. When it is desired, we try to enhance it, and when it is not desired, then we are trying to slow it down. In that, if it is desired, we want to enhance. In that case, we try to improve the heat transfer rate. We try to improve the rate of heat transfer, and we make the rate transfer rate high. And in other case, when it is not desired, we are trying to stop the heat transfer, we are trying to reduce the heat transfer, we are trying to slow down the heat transfer. In that case, we try to reduce, or we try to slow down, or we try to decrease the rate of heat transfer. The main topic of interest in the heat transfer is the rate of energy transfer. Now, where the heat transfer take place? You get it? That where the heat transfer take place? There is two main conditions which should occur to heat transfer to take place. Without that, there is no heat transfer. And which link is weak, then the heat transfer is weak. Heat transfer is slow. The first thing is the temperature difference. There should be existence of temperature difference. Without any temperature difference, there is no heat transfer. If all part of a body, or if all bodies are at same temperature, there is no heat transfer. Temperature difference is one of the basic quality or basic requirement of the heat transfer. Another requirement for the heat transfer to take place is the thermal contact. As high as the thermal contact, as high as the heat transfer. High thermal contact, high heat transfer. Low thermal contact, low thermal heat transfer. No thermal contact, no heat transfer. It depends on the thermal contact and temperature difference. High temperature difference, the rate of heat transfer is high. Low temperature difference, the rate of heat transfer is low. Strong thermal contact, high heat transfer. Low thermal contact, low heat transfer. Weak thermal contact, low heat transfer. As we saw that physically the sun is not in touch with us, but we get the heat energy from the sun because of the thermal contact, that is the radiation. There is no trap or no boundary for the radiation to cross from the sun to the earth. They are allowed and they are free to come. We have basic modes of heat transfer as conduction, convection, radiation. We get energy from the sun to the earth from radiation. If we put a screen for the radiation, then we don't get heat from the sun as we do in the shelters. We build the shelter and we provide a screen to the radiations. When we provide a screen to the radiation, those who are inside the shelter can't feel the heat of the sun, and those who are not inside the shelter, they feel the heat of the sun, even though both of them are not in physical contact with the sun. That's why, concluding it, that we should have two things: temperature difference as well as the thermal contact. When there exists a temperature difference as well as a thermal contact, there should be a heat transfer. No one can stop it. There should be a heat transfer. Now, moving towards the basic mode of heat transfer. First is the conduction heat transfer. Conduction heat transfer is the heat transfer from the heat energy from one particle at a high energy level to the higher temperature and higher energy level to the particle which is adjacent to it, without any movement from higher energy level to the lower energy level. A particle is in touch with a higher energy particle. It gets heat from that higher energy particle, and after getting heat, it will pass it on to the other particle which is at lower energy level. There is no movement between these three particles. One is the highest one, and other one is at lowest one, and the molecule between them is at intermediate temperature. The molecule between the higher and lower temperature gets the energy from the higher one and pass it on to the lower one without any movement. This is the movement or transfer of the energy, heat energy from one point to another point, from one particle to another particle without any movement. There is no visual movement. There is a vibration of electrons, there are particles like that, but there is no visual movement of the medium, of the body, of the material. There is no movement. They just pass on the energy from one point to another point, from one particle to another particle, from one body to another body, just only to the adjacent body without any movement. Where they can supply without any movement, they supply it from one point to another point. It is generally visible in solid cases. In gases and liquid, it also occurs, but it is not of so importance, because as we are all aware that in gas and liquid, the particles are not, the molecules are not so closely bound. That's why it is not much visible in case of gases and liquid, but it is more visible in the solid, because the particles are closely bound and they pass on the energy from one particle to another particle easily. That's why the conduction is more visible in the solid cases and not in the gases and liquid cases.